Are you realistic? Or are you an eternal optimist that constantly thinks you're capable of absolutely anything? Now, don't get me wrong. When you start a business and when you build a business, there are many, many times when you probably need to verge more on the side of enthusiasm and optimism than on the side of realism. You've got to have a slight screw loose and believe that almost anything is possible if you're going to grow a business. But sometimes that optimism and that enthusiasm can come at the cost of being realistic. And what that can mean is when you're unrealistic about your expectations, about what you're capable of, you can actually end up in a place where you're just demanding or expecting too much of yourself. You can end up beating yourself up, feeling as though you're failing, when actually the expectations were just unrealistic to start with. So it can be quite counterproductive. So let me give you a few examples to plant a few seeds and get you thinking about where you're possibly a bit unrealistic in your business. One of the most obvious places for me that I see people being quite unrealistic is how much you can actually get done in a day. I've lost count of the number of clients I've worked with who come to me convinced that they are terrible at time management and that they're really not very productive at all. And actually, when we dig into it, it's simply the fact they expect themselves to be able to do 3 days worth of work every single day without fail. So if you're unrealistic about the amount of stuff you can actually get done in a day, you may find that you constantly feel as though you're failing. You constantly feel as though you're overwhelmed, as though you're not getting stuff done, as though you're not very productive, when actually what you really need to do is strip things back, be much more realistic about what you can get done in a day, put less on your list, but continually get that done each day. And then what you'll find is you hit much better momentum, and over time you will actually get a lot more done. One of the other key areas I see people being unrealistic is about how long things take. A simple thing like an email follow-up after a call or after a meeting, which you might think is going to take 5 or 10 minutes, but actually if you've got a few things to document in there, that might easily take you 30 or 40 minutes. And again, that's one of those times where you can end up questioning yourself, how on earth can that have taken me so long? But it's the expectation that was the thing at fault, not the execution and the amount of time that you took. It's the unrealistic expectation that actually causes the problem. How much can you achieve yourself versus how much you need help with? I think this is an absolute classic, and it's always a tricky point in business, working out how much you can get done yourself, how much you can learn, how much you can take on, versus when is actually the right time to hire somebody to help you or to outsource some of that work and cut yourself some slack. A simple example, I say simple, it's not at all, but things like, choosing to create your own website or trying to keep your own website updated, trying to create your own sales pages, trying to write all your own content or revamp all of that when actually somebody else could do that for you in a fraction of the time. Now, I know obviously there's a question there about budgets, but very often choosing the right things to outsource and getting help in the right areas will actually help you move your business forwards a lot faster than you getting absolutely stuck because you are trying to do every single thing in that business yourself. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Oh, how many calls and meetings you can fit in a day or in a week. One of my clients is a coach, and she has come to realise that she could technically fit in 4 or possibly even 5 coaching sessions in a day. But what she realises is that kills her energy. It leaves her exhausted the next day if she does that. But she also gets to the point where she doesn't feel she's completely focused or present for each of those clients. So she now has a limit of 2 coaching sessions per day. So just because you can physically fit something in a day doesn't mean that it's the right thing to do, and it doesn't mean that it's the realistic expectation for you. So, as I say, I think we're all optimists in business and we're all very enthusiastic. Sometimes that enthusiasm can be counterproductive. So my challenge to you today is to have a think about which parts of your business you're unrealistic about. Where are you setting expectations of how much you can achieve or how fast you can progress, how much you can get done, when actually you need to scale those things back in order to be more realistic, in order to actually achieve more. I would love to hear back from you how this resonates with you. And if you think that the whole sort of time management and setting goals and expectations is a real challenge for you and you don't know how to get past it, then please get in touch and I would love to help you with that. And as always, I'd love you to share this video with anyone else you think could benefit. Thank you, folks.